This is a story that's been inspired by and guided with the help of my Nurse Hannah, and the group that coached her, the Berkeley Sleep Team. This might sound like a lot, but if it weren't for them, my mental state would likely be much worse than what it's at right now. So thanks, from the bottom of my heart. Everyone needs sleep. I don't care who you are or how unstoppable and godly you might be. You need it too. You already know this, however, you and many other people don't choose to prioritize it. Why? Well, I can't tell you exactly, but I can tell you why I didn't. See, I never really cared about sleep in high school, and there were several reasons for this. One being that I didn't have very much opportunity to sleep because of all the homework I had to do, which was absolute torture. A statement to anyone who's in high school stressing themselves out to no end.
Your health should always come first.
Another being the fact that all of my peers weren't getting the sleep they needed and almost just kind of accepted this as like a fact of life. So I felt more at peace with the fact that I wasn't getting sleep either. Lastly, and probably the most significant of these reasons, was just that my brain didn't notice any difference between the days where I got a full 8 to 9 hours of sleep and the days where I just plain didn't care, stayed up late, and got very little sleep. You know, I really believe that a lot of the time we just kind of live our days in and out without really like paying attention to our psyche, without paying attention to our bodies and how we feel, and I think this can be quite a problem because it doesn't lead to behaviors or doesn't prompt us to change anything about our lives or change anything about our sleep and energy levels. And sleep not only helps with energy levels throughout the day, but it also helps regulate your mood, your eating patterns, your social interactions, and helps you build up confidence. To the people who say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, I say to them, you are hugely mistaken. If this is how you go about life, you'll be sure to get to that sleep before everyone else. So the following is a Zimbo's guide to snoozing and cruising. Whatever a Zimbo is exactly, I just made it up, but
I did not, however, make up the content within this book. The content within this book is my interpretation and everything I learned from the sleep therapy I underwent through the Berkeley Sleep Team. It's essentially a plagiarized version of the workbook that they send every sleep therapy patient. So if you would like more specific and robust information, check out sleepteam.berkeley.edu. It'll be a little less biased.
And if you ever get the opportunity to get sleep therapy for yourself, I highly recommend it. It will help you far more than this video ever could.
Rule 1. Keep a sleep journal.
Now, if you're the type of person who watches a self-help video, then proceeds to not do anything the video tells you to, then forget about the rest of the video. I swear, like, literally just focus on this part. And the reason I say this is because the simple act of just keeping track of your sleep, it will make you a lot more aware of how much sleep you're getting. Once you know how much sleep you're getting, you're a lot more likely to be like, hey, you know what? Maybe I should fix this really chaotic sleep schedule. This is the first thing that I was asked to do by my nurse, and the Berkeley Sleep Team even sent me a little booklet to document every minute of it. You don't have to be perfect at it. I wasn't, and thankfully my nurse was very forgiving. You just have to try your best. Awareness is more valuable than anything else, in my humble opinion, and this awareness is what made all the difference for me. So, thanks Sleep Team, and thanks Nurse Hannah. Rule number 2, regular wake times. Going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time is crucial. It is necessary, even on the weekends.
And to quote the sleep god himself,
a 3-hour difference or 2 or 3 hour difference in your sleep timing, that's torture on our biology. That's torture on our circadian rhythm.
It's torture. The passion in this man's voice. Your body operates on a cycle, and it's important, and the best way to approach it is to wake up at consistent times with an alarm.
Exactly what time you wake up doesn't really matter all too much. You can wake up at 4 a.m., 9 a.m., even 2 p.m., as long as you are consistent. Learning this made me somewhat leave behind the days where I would lay in bed for 30 minutes half asleep in the morning contemplating my life. I feel refreshed and ready to start my days now. For the most part, I'm definitely not perfect either. Rule number 3, wind down. In order to prevent rolling around in bed at night, use this. Winding down involves doing something very simple. Anywhere from an hour to 30 minutes before bed, dim or completely shut off the lights in your environment. This includes electronics. There are 2 ideas with this. 1, you need melatonin running through your brain to feel sleepy. Light disrupts this process. Number 2, with the lights now dimmed, it will allow you now to focus on relaxing activities instead of scrolling around through TikTok all night. This could be anything from brushing your teeth, to getting dressed, reading, stretching, meditating. Do whatever you want as long as it calms you down. Trust me, this will make sleeping at least 10 times easier. Thank you to the Berkeley Sleep Team for this top-class suggestion. Following it has helped me sleep a lot easier, and I am now snoozing and cruising. And lastly, rule number 4, rise up. When you wake up, do one of the following. While the Berkeley Sleep Team wasn't as specific or brief with this kind of wake time routine, I found that these 3 things get me going the most. So number 1 is go on a run. Number 2 is socialize with someone you like. And number 3 is play some Little Uzi Vert.
I'm on some shit like, now I do what I want. 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 Now I do what I want.
I have absolutely no idea why the cops have to make an appearance on every single one of my videos.
Now I do what I want. Everybody know I'm better.
I like runs because it brings me so much stimuli and gets me excited, taking in everything from the shining sun to the chirping birds. This mixed in with some music gets the endorphins running, and it brings me a feeling I can't compare to much else, especially when done first thing in the morning. It might sound like an exaggeration, but it's ecstasy. I know most people won't empathize and hate running, and I just don't empathize with them. To me, it's ecstasy, man. And obviously not everyone can just all of a sudden go on a run if they're not particularly active people, and in no way will it be enjoyable if that's the case. So if it is the case, then simply go on a walk, or if you can't go on a walk, at the very least, expose yourself to sunshine. I include socializing because I'm such a social person, and by human nature you are too. Text someone you love, just say what's up, even if you don't have anything to talk about. Like, it'll just make you feel more connected. And although I highly recommend it, of course you don't have to listen to Little Uzi, but you should listen to something that excites your mind. The basic point of this rule is just to get your day started right when you wake up, and do whatever you can to give your brain stimulation. Let your body know it's time to get the day started. It will immediately make you feel more awake, bring you a positive outlook for the rest of the day, and will better tire you for sleep later that night. And that's it. Those are the rules. This might all seem pretty trivial, but just following even one of these rules on a consistent basis will significantly improve not only your sleep, but also your mental functioning altogether. It did for me because I put it into practice. It did for a lot of clients in the Berkeley Sleep Team because they put it into practice. And I hope it will for you too watching this video, because I hope that you will also put it into practice. I just want to end this by saying that it's so important to prioritize our sleep and ourselves, and I think it's actually extremely sad that we don't. Actually, implementing sleep habits is one thing, but caring about our own sleep and health is a completely different thing. It's very sad to me that our culture and society to some degree actually worships the opposite, that we ought to work our way to success no matter the consequences, even if it means sacrificing our sleep and health. It is a respectable characteristic, don't get me wrong, to put in effort to support those around you and advance your career. However, I think it is time that we also start respecting, to some degree, selfishness. We need to be selfish. We need to understand what it means to be selfish, and we need to start being okay with it. It means ending that phone call with that special someone so that you can give your body the rest that it needs. It means being willing to set your work aside for tomorrow now that it's getting late, your eyes are getting droopy, and your body is telling you that it needs to go bed by. This doesn't even just apply to sleep, but other areas of your life too. If there's something you don't want to do for the sake of your own safety, health, values, happiness, or whatever it might be, disappoint people. Don't show up, quit that job, drop that class. Do whatever it is you need to do to take care of yourself, because no one's going to take care of yourself for you. Have fun on the journey. I love you, and please make sure to love yourself first.
Because I mentioned your name a lot in the video, and so
thank you.
thank you, because I really feel like, you know, what we went through and everything we did together really changed my life for the better. So
First of all, you're very welcome, and you worked really hard. I'm so proud of you for all of the work you've done on your own mental health, because you know, you're going to be a good model for the community. People still have these very old, incorrect ideas about mental health, you know, and it's going to be all up to all of us to change that. When you're like in your late 30s or early 40s, you're going to look back and say, wow,